Have you ever seen Disney's Aladdin, and have you ever wondered what it will be like to walk along the streets of Agrabah? Well, that place is real. Welcome to Khiva. Let me show you why you absolutely must come to Uzbekistan. Interested? Then subscribe to my channel and come along with me. To get to Khiva, we took an overnight train from Tashkent. We left at 9 and got to Khiva at 11 in the morning, so that's 14 hours on a sleeper train. There will be a separate video about what it's like to travel on a sleeper train in Uzbekistan, so watch this space. But for now, this video will cover the entry fee into the Khiva Old City, the best places to shop in Khiva, and the places to avoid, what to expect from accommodation in Khiva, and the delicious food you absolutely must try, and of course the incredible history and architecture that you can't leave without seeing. Let's get started. Leaving the train station, there's a big crowd of taxi drivers. They offer to take you to the old city of Khiva for 1,000 sum. That's about $1, which is not very much, but the old city is only 20 minutes walk away from the train station, behind those gates, so you might as well just walk. We did, it was a nice way to see the city. Here is the entrance. You have to pay to go in, but almost all of the hotels and hostels on booking.com are inside the old city. And so the lady told us we can just go in, find our hotel, and then come back later and buy the ticket. This is the entrance on the other side of the city, the main entrance. And it's a great place to see all the weddings, especially on a Sunday afternoon. It's also the place to find the camel statues of Khiva. Now about the entrance fee. It's 120,000 sum for access to the city and all museums, or 30,000 sum if you can convince them that you are from Uzbekistan. I want to talk about shopping next, because it's the first thing you see when you enter the old city, and it's the thing that continues to follow you wherever you go. The vibrance of colors and the dazzle of their combinations is just impossible to ignore. You will see something you want to buy on every step. But the streets of Khiva are not the place where you should buy your souvenirs, at least not straight away. A true Uzbek will walk around the whole market, even if they need just one thing, and they will ask every shop stall how much they charge, and only after they will make a decision. And there is a very good reason for that, because after asking the price and walking away, the price falls 2 or 3 times before you leave the stall. Do the trick 3 or 4 times and you'll have the real price of the product. Then feel free to go to any stall and bargain. In truth, the souvenirs don't actually cost that much. The first price for this gorgeous blue jacket is going to be 40 or 50 euros. But if you're traveling before Christmas and you need to make a lot of purchases, then count your pennies. That said, this stall makes the best magnets in Khiva, and it is one of a kind. The razzle-dazzle of the street stalls definitely entertains the eye. But if you are truly serious about your souvenirs, then head over to the Karavanbashi Craft Center. Here you will find much more interesting and unusual things from over 100 craftsmen and women from across Khiva and Urgench. Here you will find the true masters of their work: wood carvers, carpet weavers, plaster workers, and potters who will be able to answer the real questions about design, manufacture, and distribution. But a much more exciting way to shop is just to go into any open door that you see. You'll definitely find an amazing view, and chances are you will find a workshop that shows you how the products are made. For example, this is the silkworm. That is how it lives. That is what the cocoons look like when they are cleaned, and that is the silk that you derive from them. And that is how you get the dyes: yellow from the pomegranate, red from the tree roots, white from salt, and blue from clay. Put the two together and you get this: colored silk, light as a feather and vibrant as the nature itself. And from them you can make the silk garments of the same color Or you can use the silk thread for decoration. And the designs are incredibly beautiful, and you can buy all of this in the same place where you learn how to make them. And these are the best places. Now, the silk is mostly used to make scarves and for decoration of cushion covers. But Uzbekistan is also famed for its cotton production, and its colors are no less vibrant. Here we popped into another shop to have a look around. I want to get a shawl and a jacket. Xiva is trying one out as well. Isn't it pretty? In the end, I got a shawl and 2 quilted jackets, and that cost me 800,000 sum. That's about 70 euros, and it looks like this, because the cash machine decided to give all of that to me in 10,000 bills. The owner counted it out by hand, and it took a little while. And there are many places like this. Just literally don't walk past any open doors. Here, for example, this place specializes in carpets, handmade carpets. Here we found a local potter. You can buy the traditional blue tiles of Khiva, or reproductions of customers at a chaikhana, or get a teapot and cups and set up your own chaikhana. There's also all types of jewelry. The traditional, the really intricate, and the really authentic. Check out these babies. But the best shop by far was this one, because it has its own cat, who definitely stole the show. Мы рассматривали колечки, котику не понравилось, что мы отвлекаемся не на ненужные вещи. Звезда, а не Мурка. Apart from the cat, it has a rather interesting collection of knives. Yep, those were real hoofs, and these are real horns. And that down there is an antler. The old city of Khiva is actually tiny. It's just that white rectangle, but it has a surprising concentration of hotels and hostels. All of these prices are for one person.
Мы решили походить, посмотреть подешевле вариант. Мы не нашли дешевле, но мы нашли хороший, красивый вариант. Покажу вам комнату. Вот наши кроватки. Здесь красивая обстановочка. Это комната обратно в прихожую. И здесь наша собственная ванная. Здесь мусорка, красивый матрасик.
There is a lot of attention to detail, like these red peppers. And the ladder leads up to the roof, that is again very nicely decorated. I love this carpet. It is flooded with sunlight. It's wonderful to have coffee up here. And the best part is that you can go outside. There are even slippers there. See? And over there are doves. Breakfast is included in the price of accommodation, and it really is excellent. Fried eggs and hot coffee are just on their way. Pictures of other guest houses we saw on booking.com are pretty similar in standard, and they all include an excellent breakfast.
Это вот обычная чайхана. Просто пришли покушать.
Мне очень нравится меню. Здесь даже написано, сколько будет готовиться блюдо, чтобы не ждать. Вот это вот традиционное прямо из Хивы блюдо. Тут зеленые макароны. Хочу такое взять. Но очень хороший ассортимент. Все, что хочется, все есть. Там еще 4 страницы салатов. И специально для европейцев есть даже бифштекс и так далее.
So this dish is available only in Khiva. Nowhere else in Uzbekistan can you get it. They are green noodles because they have dill in them.
And that's artichoke, a traditional Uzbek salad. And that is manti, huge dumplings with meat or sometimes with pumpkin, also very traditional, and usually served with sour cream. I love that little jug. But top marks go to the terrace cafe, so called because it has an amazing terrace, perfect for viewing the city in the summer. In the winter it's a bit chilly there, but the food is still incredible, so delicious. Although the locals know this place as the most expensive restaurant in town. but it was definitely worth it. Next, let me take you through the streets of the old city of Khiva. But first, a little bit more window shopping. Это вот 25 долларов. Ну как, мне идет? More than 2,500 years old, Khiva is one of the oldest cities in the world. According to legend, it was founded by the son of a biblical character Noah, and throughout the centuries, Khiva was home to many peoples and many rulers. Starting out as a Zoroastrian city, it was then conquered by the Arabs to become a major center of religion and science, before being razed to the ground by the Genghis Khan, to be then rediscovered by the Uzbek nomadic tribes and proclaimed the capital of the Khanate of Khiva. Today, the old part of Echankala is an open-air museum, protected by UNESCO. On the tiny territory of Echankala, there are 2 palaces, more than 60 madrasas and mosques, mausoleums, a cathedral mosque, a bazaar, several caravanserais and baths, and residential buildings. Echankala is surrounded by a powerful high fortress wall, which you can climb and walk today, but it is no easy feat, so manage your expectations, and going down is a bit tricky as well. All of these shots are taken from the top of the observation tower. At present, it is the only high vantage point in the Khiva city, after the minarets were closed to visitors due to disrepair.
Здесь буквально заглядываешь за каждый угол, открывается что-то новое, невероятное. В Хиве, хотя она крошечная, можно потратить хоть неделю. Что я вам говорила? Открывается что-то новое. Что за этим углом? А за этим углом Севара. Еще можно здесь немножко поладить и найти прямо очень хороший вид. Мне вот напоминает Аладдина. 1001 ночь. Смотрели мультик? Не знаем, что здесь, но здесь в каждом здании красиво, так что пошли посмотрим.
смелая спустилась вниз. Соль. А, это тандыр. Здесь вот в таких вот штуковинах готовят, например, плов. Можно что внутрь посмотреть. Ну, сейчас тут ничего не готовят, сейчас тут мусор лежит. Ну, не важно. Так, открыть-то можно? А, можно. Здесь тоже лежит мусор. Нашла верблюда. Интересно, можно пойти его потрогать?
Finding camels was one of our main goals going to Western Uzbekistan, and we found just one. And while he wasn't exactly wild, he was feisty.
Он атакует Севару. С ним можно сниматься только когда его кормят. Агрессивный верблюд.
It costs $10 to ride him a small circle around the square, or $5 to take a picture next to him. But we got a very different kind of show entirely for free. Have you ever seen a camel poo and pee? But his handler seems to have everything worked out and he's ready for any eventuality.
Че хвостом бьет. Сказать трогать нельзя, он кусается.
So, how do you take a picture of him? Well, the handler brings him some food, and while he's distracted, you can stand next to him and take your photos. Oh yeah, and he is massive. I can't even reach the top of his hump. But he is very soft. It's like stroking the softest sheep. Got me thinking though, if every time someone wants to take a picture of him, he has to eat, doesn't he get fat? And maybe that's why he pulls a lot. But maybe the trick is just in the lack of tourists. Apart from us, nobody else was paying Misha any attention. And so whenever Misha's handler stops paying attention to, he takes a nap.
Все, Миша устал. Миша будет отдыхать. Сейчас как перевалится. Они же не могут на спину лечь, там горбы. Тем временем он заснул, он спит.
And last but not least are the weddings of Khiva. If you come here on the weekend, you're bound to see at least 10 weddings. They are literally everywhere you go, and inevitably in such small space, they even pass each other. Now, these are not actual weddings. These are the photo shoots that take place after the official proceedings. That is why they come to the old city looking for beautiful views against which to take their pictures. And they bring their guests with them. And while the bride and groom are busy posing in front of the camera, the guests entertain themselves. It makes for a lively, happy atmosphere.
So here it is, Khiva, and the many endless reasons why you should come and visit. If you have any questions, then drop them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them. And travel more. It's good for the soul.